Eric Paul's here with 9 to 5 Sports. Going to be getting into the first round leader bets and the round one showdown picks here for the Wyndham Championship. Now, guys, I did not end up betting Tony Finau, even though he ranked out, really strong first round leader rank of the golfers in the AM slate. I've been doing that a lot recently. It's like, do as I say, not as I do. Well, guys, I'm just going to start forcing it in. So basically, what I'm trying to get at is if you had just bet, what my strategy with betting is, bet the top 5% most likely to win. In this case, most likely to have the first round lead, and you're going to be successful. So if you were to reduce that down this season for first round leader, I started tracking in like 2022 or when it turned to the new year. A majority of the weeks you would have cashed a first round leader bet. Okay. You would have cashed Cameron Young, you would have cashed Sungjae Im, you would have cashed Tony Finau. There's been a bunch of them. Wyndham Clark, I always mention. I'm just going to start doing that. I don't really care what their numbers are too much. Just the first like 8 or 7 players, obviously depends on the week, for top 5%. I'm just going to bet them first round leader wise that have the AM only slate or tee times. Okay. I'm done just missing out on it because I try to get cute with it. It's like, I don't want to be the Seattle Seahawks and pass it on the goal line. Okay. We're not going to get cute with it. We're going to run it down the middle. We're going to score that touchdown. Okay. So I just want to throw it out there. It's been a little bit tilting in that sense that I've just been making stupid mistakes there. So let's just get right into that. Who are the most likely to have the first round lead? Okay, the top 8. We got Davis Riley, 1, which really shocked me. The data loves him this week. I don't particularly see it. It's more coming off of the starts that he had 4, 5, 6 weeks ago that loves Davis Riley. So that's up to you guys if you want to roll with that. Sungjae Im, though, makes a lot of sense. Sungjae Im played some really good golf last week, or in his last tournament, dominated this course. That makes some sense. Aaron Wise, now this is particularly interesting to me. 3rd most likely of the AM, 4th overall. I like that a lot. Will Zalatoris, makes a lot of sense. 4th in the AM only slate. 5th most likely, Keith Mitchell. You could roll with 5th in the AM only tee times. Makes a lot of sense. Webb Simpson. Now this is where I don't particularly love Webb Simpson for any other purposes this week other than maybe the first round leader betting. He has really just kind of struggled to piece together rounds. But first round leader wise, he's been doing pretty well. So if you want to roll with him first round leader bet, that does make sense to me. So what is that? 6 we got? We got 2 more. Mark Hubbard. Mark Hubbard makes a lot of sense. He played really well round 1 last week, then kind of struggled in round 2. Makes a lot of sense there. And then Justin Rose as well. Justin Rose casually popping up. If you want to extend that out a little bit more, I don't mind Patrick Rogers. I don't think we have to go that route. But really, that's why I'm looking up for my first round leader better card. It is a little bit bigger, but we have seen the process work where if you just reduce it to the top 5% in the field, you're going to cash a majority of your first round leader bets. Now, obviously, the difference there is going to be whether there are ties or not. But in the long run, when you cash golfers like Cameron Young or Wyndham Clark, those splits like Tony Finau last week or like Sungjae Im the week before that are not going to matter as much because, well, we're getting some good odds on some players that shouldn't be that low owned for or that high of a price point or whatever betting odds for the first round leader. Okay. And then just going further, like obviously these golfers are going to be the ones that are the top showdown picks. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. It correlates well. Going lower, like if you're trying to find some values, like maybe Austin Smotherman popping up there, I don't mind him. Tyler Duncan, he would make some sense as well. Maybe you get on JT Poston a little bit. That's up to you guys. Anaraban Lahiri, he's going to be a value. He's someone you could potentially roll with. So I don't mind that. Like there are some decent values here in which you could kind of stack maybe Sungjae Im and Will Zalatoris with, and maybe Mark Hubbard with, and then just go with some of the values there for showdown purposes. And once again, I do kind of want to mention this is that I like to target the AM only for showdown purposes because you're kind of reducing your risk, you're raising your ceiling a little bit because you're concentrating it on which golfers are most likely to play well in the AM only slate, and you're kind of just making it easier for, I use my lineup builder, for the lineup builder to put together at least a few good lineups in which you could potentially take down a GPP. And typically speaking, it's one golfer that's not helping you take down GPP. I know that sounds like oh, that's always the case, but it's really not. It's really like you have 5 golfers that are in the winning GPP lineup, where if you just switched out a golfer that maybe went just average to the field, with someone that went slightly above average, you're probably taking on a GPP, and that's what we've seen a lot. And then just looking at a little bit more, like there's not a significant weather advantage. And honestly, guys, with the weather, how it looks, we might have some start and stop weather to the point where, there could be delays. I'm saying there's thunderstorms and whatnot projected throughout the whole weekend and week, which would suck. Okay, that leads to less predictability, and maybe that's why we don't want to just fully go AM only this week, because maybe like someone like Russell Henley ends up getting a Friday morning tee time for his round one instead. Maybe we don't know. But he ranks out really well first round leader wise. Adam Long, Corey Connors, like these are golfers you could play a little bit in showdowns if you wanted to diversify a little bit. But there we go, guys. Short, quick, and simple. First round leader bets and round one showdown picks. Now, guys, let's continue to cash with round one showdown. If you guys have been being successful, let me know in the comment section. I do appreciate that. If you guys want to join 905 Nation, the best value in PGA DFS, it's only $10 a month. Okay. I do want to remind you guys that starting this week, I'm going to start some NFL DFS coverage, especially with the Hall of Fame game, which I'll be putting out later this evening. I got to watch some film on some no-name players. I gotta read the reports that are going out there. It's fun to do that deep dive. And you guys know me, like I don't want to just put out bullshit content. I want to do the research. I want to see what these players look like with my eyes for the NFL DFS purposes. I know it's a long time ago, but that's how like Javon Wims was a massive W for us a few years ago with the Chicago Bears for the Hall of Fame game. That's like 5 years ago now. But that was one of my better calls. I think the Hall of Fame game has been weird. It's got like rained out. The field was too shitty to play one year. So we haven't seen it too much. And what I love is I'm pretty confident, I would have to triple check this, but I don't think we have any defenses this year, because that was the dumb part, is that you were forced to just play both defenses in the captain spot. Obviously you're switching those in and out, but you had to play both defenses in your lineup, and you're putting one in your captain spot because it was just bad football. So I'm really happy that they took that out. Honestly, just take out kickers, take out defense, make fantasy football full fun. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. Sorry for the NFL DFS spiel. Let's have a good weekend as always. Let's keep cashing, guys.